of the Writer's Toolbox session for summer of 2013. All right, I've opened up to the assignments pane. You'll see there's 9 different assignments for this unit. And the unit should take you anywhere between 6 to 10 hours to finish. So please bear that in mind when you're setting up the time for yourself. The first assignment is a blogging assignment. It's also on a writing prompt on the Writing Prompt blog, but it's basically writing a paragraph about something that you remember doing that you thought was really cool and fun and interesting and worth remembering. The comma rule we're studying this week is comma rules with descriptive adjectives. That's for when you say something is, the movie was fun, realistic, action-packed, and whatever. It's a series of adjectives in a row. It tells you how to use commas with those types of adjectives. The discussion this week is, or in this unit, is to actually, we're going to read the story The Cask of Amontillado and also watch the movie of it. Okay? And here in this discussion board, you can add your input to the watching the movie The Cask of Amontillado. Great story. All right. Again, there's also a literary reflection. Okay. And when I do these literary reflections, I have a PDF here that tells you how to write a literary reflection. It's pretty much kind of like a narrative paragraph in a lot of ways. It's your own personal thoughts. In a lot of these older stories, this is an Edgar Allan Poe story, they're kind of hard to understand if you don't study them a little bit first. So I always have a link here to the Schmoop Guide to the Cask of Amontillado. And up here you can have the intro, you have the summary, the themes, quotes, characters, almost everything. So whenever you're studying a piece of literature, it's a little different than just reading it. So it's worthwhile going and finding some information about the story before you even start reading. Okay, the big writing piece this week is a personal essay. And I actually have a whole rubric. This one has a couple of websites with ideas for a personal essay. There's listed about 10 things on this website. This one has a ton of ideas. So hopefully one of these will resonate with you. Right? Like I said, a personal essay is just almost any experience that you've had that you feel is worth retelling. Right? The way that you tell these stories, okay, I have a whole, basically an essay I wrote about how to tell a good story. As the get to the bottom, got a few rules that you need to follow. That's basically how I grade you. I see that you're following the rules. Right? It'll help you understand what I mean by how to create a good story. I also have a rubric for those of you who like rubrics. See if it uploads here. Okay, so you can download this rubric, and you can use it kind of like the other rubrics. This one's just a little bit longer. Okay, opening paragraph, the body paragraphs, and concluding paragraphs. Right, and I have actually an example of a pretty good one written by one of my students this year at school. So look at those. That's a, I'll delete that, don't need it. Don't need it. Sorry. So that's the personal essay. Very important skill to develop. Right, our short story for this week is the short story A and P. It's written by John Updike, a very famous American writer. For those of you at Fenn, he happens to also be the father of Ms. Goebel, the librarian. Right? So read the short story A and P, and they're going to write a literary analysis paragraph using the literary analysis rubric, which will be here as an upload. I also have a link to the Shmoop guide. And it's really important to read this about the story first, or you could read the stuff on Shmoop, and then read it again, because you're not just trying to enjoy the story, you're trying to analyze the story. So as much information as you can get will be very helpful to you. And then there's an active reading rubric. Unit 5, vocabulary and roots. Okay. Go there, you can study them. Okay. Really important that you join my Quizlet class if you haven't already. Alright. Crafted Works. It has all these things in there. All the things that you need to know, all the different units. Okay. Or you can study them right off the sheet. You know, choose a study mode, speller flashcards, and you can study them there. Okay. And then the final thing is our writing exercise is using metaphors. Mr. Fitzsimmons is a gnarly old beast. Okay. Metaphors are a cool way of using vivid and descriptive language in your writing. So that's basically the overview of Unit 5. Should be a lot of fun, I hope. 2 great stories, and 9 different assignments. Also, there's a couple of, should be a test or a quiz. Okay, I'll add that test or quiz this week. I made one up for the vocabulary. Okay, to check your grades, you go to the grade book and go to discussions. Make sure there's you answer or add your input to any of the discussion threads. Okay, so great. It's a bit of a long one here. Sorry, and thanks.